How's it going? Let me give you a quick Autotune tutorial to help get you started if you're trying to record right now and you just need to get going and get the basics down. Here you go. First step, you're opening Autotune. These are your default settings when you open it. Unless you are a canary, an orca whale, some sort of hummingbird, you're not going to be a soprano. So you're going to go to low male because you're probably a low male, right? If you're not a low male, maybe you're a female. Alto tenor will work, but you want to have this set below where you're at. It may not matter where it's set. If you make it lower than you're at, it'll just grab everything. But if you're above where you're at, it may not grab the lower side of that. So keep that in mind. Also, the key of every song ever is going to be a letter followed by major or minor. That's all you got to know. You don't got to be concerned with all this. You know, you don't got to be concerned with how to pronounce Barnes. Is it Bernays? Is it, you don't have to worry. You don't have to speak French. You don't need to know. All you need to know is major or minor. And then what you need to know is, once you have major or minor, what is it A, B, C, D, E, F, or G, sharp or flat? What are we talking? All right? That's it. Simple. Auto mode is going to be your friend. Now, where the settings come up, what I find is very helpful is where it sits, is where you leave it if you like the pitch. If you don't like, if you really like, in other words, if this singer's great, they're extraordinary, then you may want to lower this and actually hear more of the singer. This makes it more natural when you go to the left. When you turn it up to the right, it's as quick as a tuning as it can be. It's quick, quick, quick. That's the affected Lil Wayne. That's the T-Pain. You're going all the way. And then if you want that all the way T-Pain sound, you're hitting classic, because that's the old school style. So it's going to be the most disjointed, which means it doesn't move the artifacts with the voice when it moves it to tune it. If you want it to move the artifacts, you have to click Formant. When you click Formant, that makes it sound more natural. So usually for me, if I want give you my go-to settings. I'm somewhere, if I'm like, ooh, that singer's pretty good, I back it off. I want to hear more singer. If I'm like, ooh, the pitch is bad, I'll turn it up to make just where I can make the pitch sound good. Okay, now I don't notice the pitch is bad. I don't need to go more than that. Perfect, okay? Now, I come over here and I'll hit humanize with about halfway or a quarter of the way is usually how I roll. Just give it a little humanize to make it sound less robotic most of the time, because that's the way I like the vocal. I don't usually mess with flex tune at all. I take natural vibrato and I turn it up to about a quarter of the way or halfway. I mean, like an eighth of the way if I feel like it's too flatlining. If it's flatlining the vocal too much and making it sound weird, like the notes just like too static, too long, I'll mess with this a lot, okay? Same way, if it's moving it too much vibrato, I may back it off to the little negative on the natural vibrato. So, you know, just see what's happening with it and then deal with this accordingly. I usually leave this here and crank it a little bit if you want to know the majority. That's usually how I roll. Now, the throat is relevant if you want to duplicate the track, create harmonies. You may want to move this. It's going to alter the sound of the shifted vocal, you know, with the format. It's going to alter the size of the throat, which changes the tone of quality of the vocal. So it's pretty cool. What else? Detune. This is relevant if you have a situation where you got a beat from somebody and it's no longer 440 is A. If A is not 440, you need to mess with detune. The whole beat could be such where they slowed it down, or with a tape machine, they did something with an effect to make it sound now where it's no longer 440 is an A. So if you're tuned to 440, you're always going to be off. No matter how perfect your tuning is, it's off. So this is just something to keep in mind. Auto key will judge it for you. It'll tell you exactly what the key is and what the BPM is. So it's a valuable plugin to have just to save time. There are tons of ways in Pro Tools where I figure out the BPM by hand for years. So I'm going to show you that in another video too. It's a piece of cake. Anyway, you guys got this. Keeping it short, keeping it simple. No reason to complicate this. Graph mode is for another video, all right? You guys got it. Piece of cake. Leave the rest of leave it where it's at, all right? Like I told you, you want harmonies? Quick gem, a drop on you before I leave. Hit the like and subscribe button, by the way, because these gems, I mean, there's tons of them. You don't want to miss them, because who wants to miss stuff like this? Duplicate the track, transpose it to a couple of notes that make sense in the song. It could be like a third and a fifth, something like that. That way you can look at the vocal that exists and drag pieces onto this other track and create harmonies. But you won't have to be moving it around on a graph, taking forever. To me, it's much quicker to do it that way. I duplicate it, and then I just move what I want where I want, and then I can make the melody move how I want that way. That's how I do that. So I got tons more tricks like this. You guys got this. Stick around. Custom Cut Studios, piece of cake. See you soon. I'm Evan Jaffe.